Okay, you see that I have two images, one with and one without the box, and I use both for I call this, let me save them as as JPEG, just for the sake of speed. So like very high resolution, too noisy anyway, but that's all right. So this is we are doing camera projection. This is with box, and that one is without box. So inside Maya, as I said, what was the lens information? I add a camera. So the camera projection is basically like this. In the old movies, or when you go, have you been in a video mapping festival or something? You've not been. So basically it's pretty much the same, that we project with one projector to one object, and we use another camera to record that. So we add two cameras to the scene. One, we call it, it's not a camera, it's a projector basically. Projector. And the other one is a camera, and we call that camera. So I hide the camera for now. Let's play around with the projector. The projector should follow the same sensor size of my camera. The camera that I used was Canon Mark III sensor size. So the sensor size in Canon Mark III is 36 by 24 millimeter. It's a full frame camera. Basically what you see here in the camera aperture is 36 by 24, which is what we want. Okay, so that's a right sensor size, but most of you are not using full frame cameras. So you have to just Google your camera and then use the sensor size. Maybe if you use like Canon 70D sensor size, you see that the sensor size is different. You have to add that number there, camera aperture. Okay, and as I told you, the focal length of the camera that I have used for taking those images was 24. So those information are important. So I changed the focal length, I adjusted the camera aperture or camera sensor size, and I'm ready to go to the projector, and inside view image plane, import image, and I go and find my image. It's on my desktop. Camera projection with box. Okay, and then let me turn this on. So, and then I adjust the floor to kind of the same perspective. So I can use the floor grid. So try to fit the floor grid into here. So if it doesn't fit, just zoom in, zoom out. So you see that I'm following this line here and that line over there, and I'm trying to follow to like pretty much fit the grid with the carpet. A bit of like rotation. Okay, yeah, kind of like that. So you see that now the lines are following that. Maybe a bit of zooming. Yeah, all good. Now good, we're good. So this is the grid adjusted, and because the lens was set, so it's so accurate. Now let's add a box. Shift right click, or click here, poly models and a box. But I like to use shortcuts. So shift, right click, and a cube. A cube is added. So just go, and so the center point of your cube is there. Just hold D, middle click here. Yeah, or click. You see that the center point just gets attached to the bottom part, and then release the D and then press X and then middle click, and then the box gets attached to that right into the center. And also the box is now you just have to rotate. I know that the box is so what I can do, I can move this this pivot point right to the edge. I press D and I press C and click on this line and just drag to there. What you can do, yeah, that's it. I go to the projector again. So don't go down. You know that when you go down, it goes beneath the 0 point. But just come to this edge like that, and then press R, and then try to press 4 as well. I try to align it with your box. Oops, the other side. Oh, okay. So I have to move it to that part. D and then V. You can hold D, and when a dot appears, just click. Oh no, not. You see that the rotation angle changes. I don't want that, so I press D and then I press C and then click on that line and drag. So go back to the rotation angle doesn't change. Okay, so we need a bit of adjustment. I'm not rotating the box here and there. You see that the box goes under the floor here, but I rotate into the perspective angle. You see that the box fits in better now. Okay, all good. Now let me add a floor as well. I add shift right click, add a plane. The plane should, I just make the plane simple. Oh no, let's have the grid over there. I just hold D and then C again, and then move to that. Oh, move to that corner. Hold D and C and then click and drag. Okay. Go to the projector. Move it there. Okay. And then scale. Okay, scaling from here. So I have my floor ready as well. So basically, you see that this is the box on the floor. And now I start projecting things on them. So I assign a material here. I go to the rendering and I assign a surface material. Before that, let's make sure that your box has, or your shape has, a proper UV. If it doesn't, so you go Window, Modeling, UV Editor. This one has a nice UV. That's all right. But if it doesn't, just apply shift right click, mapping, and apply an automatic map. Just make sure that it has a UV. Because not always but most of the time your projecting camera projection applies on a very complex model that you have modeled. So you select that, you apply a surface material here, and I do that here again. So I change the color for now, just for the sake of visibility. So now I assign, so I go to the material editor. So this is box projection, box projection map, and this is for floor projection map. So was it floor? Yes. For the box, so you just bring it here, open it with this. You see that so there's just nothing, like it's just a box. Now you can click here and you want to load a file, the box file. Just instead of clicking on the file, just right click on that and say create as projection. So a projection node appears and then a file gets there. So select that, load that image with the box in it. Where was it? Camera projection with box. Okay, so you see that it has the camera projection, and when I press 6, we see a weird image that doesn't work because we have to select the projection, and here we are going to say that okay, the file we have to introduce the camera to the camera projection. The projection is not, so the projection type, you see that here is planar. It means that it just have been projected on the box, but it's perspective. So it follows a perspective camera, but we have to link it to our camera. So you see that a projector shape is there. So that's our camera projector. So you see that it's boxed there now. So, but it doesn't fit very well. So you see that the box is there, but it's just like larger or smaller. So you just try different fitting things, like match to the resolution, yes, and fill, yes, yep. So the box is there now. So when I go to the perspective, you will see that this box very much looks like that box, but just at that angle. So with just a bit of like movement here. So I'm going to do the same thing with the floor. So I select the floor. So let's go to the projector. Go to the attribute, to the hypershade. Clean this area by clicking that star, so it's clear graph. Middle click, bring this floor projection. Click here, right click on the file, create as projection. And this time we load the one without the box. If you have an object in your scene, you can clear the object with stamp in Photoshop if you don't have the clean backplate. So the floor is being projected now. Now it's time to select the projection. Say that the projection type is perspective and the camera is projector. And so you see that it should match, but it doesn't. It's because you can match the resolution gate. It just match, maybe vertical or full. That's all right. Now I can add those walls as well. So select that one, or I'm going to add the walls as well. I go to the edge, select this edge. I select all those edges. Shift right click, extrude edge, and then I come up. higher. Okay, all good. Press 5, press 6. Let's go to the camera projector. It works fine. Okay. So now I have built up that scene. So if I go and completely delete the image plane, the image plane is deleted. See? Now let's go and go to the projector. So you see that it's basically what we had there. So I go hide these two projection textures, but I have camera 1. Camera 1 is there. But what I do a trick. Oops. I delete my camera 1. I duplicate the projector camera, and I call that camera. So, and I lock my projector. Select your projector, go to the channel box, and just select everything, including the focal length, and lock it. Right click, lock. So once you lock it, you see that we are in the projector, so we cannot move the camera. It is just locked. But I can look through the camera and move. I zoom in. Okay, I add a keyframe here. So this is the camera. Add a keyframe here, select your camera, and after like 2 seconds, the camera travels there. So you see that we generated a what is that grid? I'm gonna turn off that grid. Grid. Okay. So you see that we generated a 3D scene out of a 2D image. Very quickly. Did I record this? I think I was recording. Yes. Good. So you see, you use the same principle for generating like who was creating, like somebody is running and then the earth crashes. You were doing that. So you can use the same technique to project the floor on like a plane, and then that plane start to like break apart. So basically you apply camera projection. And many of the people who do fake perspective using matte painting, they use camera projection. So in the next class I will make a more complex version of that.